Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online teaching academy, Ekalaiva. Class 12, CBSE, Economics, Infrastructure, Part 2. This chapter covers Indian System of Medicine, ISM, Health System in India, Essential Indicators of Good Health, Medical Tourism, Urban-Rural Divide, and Women's Health. ISM, Indian System of Medicine. ISM is now known as Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy. Under Ayush, there is a network of 4,095 hospitals, 27,951 dispensaries, and 8 lakh registered practitioners in India. The health services provided by this network is largely focused on primary health care, that is PHC. The cost of care is affordable and they are effective and safe. Health system in India. India has a three-tier health system. And in the first tier, that is tier 1, this includes primary health centers, community health centers, and sub-centers. These are small hospitals or healthcare centers set up in small towns, villages, and rural areas. You can see here a primary health center set up in rural area. Preliminary treatment is offered to patients and they focus on educating people on issues relating to health care. This is done by holding health awareness meeting. Apart from all this, they provide immunization facilities against infectious disease. So such immunization facilities by giving vaccination as a preventive measure. These primary health centers are managed by a single doctor and a nurse. We call them as ANM, Auxiliary Nursing Midwife. Auxiliary Nursing Midwife to assist the doctor, and limited quantity of medicines are provided to these health centers to help those patients. Tier 2 includes secondary health care institutions. When the patient cannot be given treatment by primary health care, then they are referred to these secondary healthcare institutions. They are upgraded and have facilities for surgery, X-ray, ECG, etc. This is the ECG machine. ECG is electrocardiogram. So such facilities are there in the secondary healthcare centers. And these centers are located in big towns and district headquarters. When the complicated health problems could not be managed by primary and secondary health centers, then the patient is referred to the tertiary healthcare centers, which is the tier 3. Tier 3 tertiary healthcare centers. They are fully equipped medical centers. So all advanced machines are used. Ultrasound or the scanning. Such facilities are provided by the tertiary health centers. They impart quality medical education through these institutions. AIIMS, AIIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences. And this is located in New Delhi. Then we have the Postgraduate Institute in Chandigarh, the Jawaharlal Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research, Pondicherry, the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bangalore, and All India Institute of Hygiene and Public Health, Kolkata. So all these centers exclusively help people in imparting quality medical education. Essential indicators of good health. Health means a sound physical and mental state. Good health is a sound physical and mental state of mind of the individual. Good health implies increase in overall efficiency to handle difficult tasks. It increases the productivity of labor and it also increases the efficiency and mental abilities. How can we measure good health? The following are the indicators to measure good health. Low death rate, low infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, high expectancy of life, low incidence of deadly diseases, high nutrition levels. Death rate has come down from 27 per thousand in 1951 and at present, that is recently in 2016, it has come down to 6.4 per thousand. It means there's a fall in the death rate. So it's an indicator of good health infrastructure in the economy. Similarly, the low infant mortality rate. The number of deaths of infants before reaching the age of 1 per 1,000 live births, we call this as infant mortality rate. And that has also come down in the economy. Then the next one is the maternal mortality rate. Maternal mortality rate is the number of maternal deaths during childbearing by the number of live births. And that has also come down. High expectancy of life. The high expectancy of life is the number of years or the span of life a human would live. And this has increased from 32 to 32 in 1951 to 69 years in 2016. So it means the life expectancy of human being has increased. This is due to advanced medical facilities. Low incidence of deadly diseases. Both communicable and non-communicable diseases have reduced because of the steps taken by government. And high nutrition levels. Nutritional food is provided by the government through midday meal scheme, and the food is also given to pregnant women through primary health care centers. India has about 1/5 of the world's population, but it bears a frightening 20% of the global burden of diseases. That is GBD, global burden of diseases. Global burden of diseases is also regarded as one of the important health indicators to judge the state of health of a country. GBD is an indicator used to gauge the number of people dying prematurely due to a particular disease, as well as the number of years spent by them in a state of disability owing to the disease. AIDS, malnutrition, and inadequate vaccine are also contributing to this problem. There has been a substantial improvement of health facilities after independence, but still there's a long way for us to reach the target. Medical tourism. Medical tourism refers to people traveling to other country to obtain medical treatment. You must have heard about tourism, but this is something new. It refers to people traveling to other country to obtain medical treatment. And people move from developed as well as less developed countries. People usually move from developed countries for cost advantage. So it is for the cost saving, less cost of treatment in other countries compared to their countries. And then people move even from less developed countries. And here their main idea taking treatment in other countries is because they know that other countries give them better quality of medical services. Now, how can we develop medical tourism? It can be developed by using latest technologies, and then upgrading health infrastructure. Lots of development in science and technology. Government should also ensure whether qualified professionals are appointed. Rural, urban, and poor rich divide. The life of the people in rural areas and the life of the people in urban areas is entirely different. There's a gap between the rich and the poor. 70% of India's population live in rural areas. But Only 1/5 of its hospitals are located in rural areas. There are only 0.36 hospitals for every 1 lakh people in rural areas. But when we compare this with the urban areas, we can see that there are 3.6 hospitals for every 1 lakh people. States like Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, such states are still lagging behind in healthcare facilities. Status of women's health. The health status of our country's women is very poor compared to the other countries of the world. Women constitute about half of the total population in India. They suffer many problems in the areas of education, participation in economic activities, and healthcare. Not many women are engaged in economic activities. It means not in production activities. More than 50% of the women in India in the age group of 15 to 49 years suffer from nutritional deficiency. They suffer from anemia due to deficiency in iron. Frequent abortions also contribute to maternal morbidity and mortality. Thus, the status of women's health has become a matter of great concern and much need to be done in this area. Health is a vital public good and a basic human right. Our country should strive to achieve health as a right for all. There should be equality in rich and poor or in urban as well as rural population. Success in the long-term battle against diseases depends on education and efficient health infrastructure. How can we achieve this objective of good health? Setting up of healthcare facilities in almost all the areas where people have occupied, and then taking care of public health, sanitation, providing clean drinking water, access to food, particularly nutritional food, knowledge of hygiene, if the environment is clean, people will be healthy. So environment also plays a very important role here. Therefore, the vision for the future should be a right for all, affordable healthcare for all. The contribution of the private sector in providing health services should be enhanced. The country should strive hard to achieve the vision for the future, that is health as a right for all.